Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Eternal October podcast. This is our 14th episode, and it's New Year's Eve.
Woo!
We're here to not talk about year-end lists, but we'll be up to that soon, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Missed that opportunity, but we are here to talk about our comfort movies.
Yeah.
At
Our
this,
top 10.
the most comforting time of year, the end of the year after Christmas, when you're hopefully maybe still just hanging out with friends and family, not just still taking it easy a little bit before you get the absolute bumfuck garbage that is January.
Yep.
Yeah. So, that's what we're here to do. It's the calm before the storm, and we're here with some comfort movies. So this was Lauren's idea, Lauren's concept, because she has over 118, I think you said.
Yeah, 118.
Comfort movies, and I pretty much said I don't have many, or at first I didn't think I had any, and then I thought about it, and I have some, but I'm going to say we're here to do our top 10s each, and even with that, I think a couple of those towards the bottom of my list are going to be kind of stretches, but but yours are all going to be accurate, it sounds like.
Yeah, these are all movies that I like. I know for some people, they'd be like, wait, what? 118? Like, that's fucking crazy. And sure, I guess. But I tend to watch all these movies, not obviously at the same time, of course, because that'd be fucking crazy. But these are movies that I like, obviously have grown up with and just loved from the very beginning, and just throughout me growing up and stuff like that. These are the movies that I tend to go to, like, when I'm just, like, wanting to watch the movie, or I'm just in the mood, or, whatever the reason being. I just tend to put these movies on, and, just they bring me comfort, and I'm enjoying when I'm watching them, no matter how many times I've seen them.
Yeah, for me, there's not near 100 movies that I would ever, like, want to rewatch, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, there's definitely a bunch of movies that I think are amazing movies. I think every movie on my list is either a 5-star or 4.5 star on Letterboxd system, so 9 or a 10 out of 10 for me. But they're ordered not in, like, my opinion of their quality. I tried to order them in how much comfort I either get from watching them or from thinking about watching them, which is kind of funny. But that's kind of how it worked for some of these with me. Like, they're kind of all here for different reasons.
Yeah.
And some of my choices are maybe most of my choices are going to be interesting, and people would probably just think I'm trying to be quirky or something, but I swear these are the movies that came to my mind that for whatever reason I just feel comfortable watching, and I'll try and figure it out as we go. So
yeah, for me, obviously, for this list, I didn't really have much difficulty creating this, because yet again, I have 118. So either of the movies that I didn't choose, I mean, they could have been on this, but, like, I guess if you want to see my full list, it's on my Letterboxd. But all these movies, the 10 movies that I chose, like, these are, like, at least some of these are like 4-5 stars for me.
Yeah.
And I rewatch these ones constantly, and I love all these movies, so it didn't really matter what order I put them in, because they're all number one for me.
I don't think any of the ones on my list are from my childhood, because we're just very different in that.
Yeah.
Where for me, a lot of shit that I watched as a kid, I now think was
Dumb.
trash, or
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of dumb. And I enjoyed it because I was a kid, and I also wasn't watching a ton of like movies as a kid. If I was, it was kids movies, and no kids movies made my list. So
Yeah, none of the
yeah.
kid movie. I mean, I do have some kid movies on my comfort list, but not on this list, but on my full comfort movie list. I actually do. But yeah, I know some of these movies though. I saw like at a very young age. Probably shouldn't have, but I did anyways, and I mean, I fell in love with these movies right off the bat. And obviously, being young, I didn't really understand, but I loved the movie anyways. But as I got older, the themes or whatever, anything about the movie, as I got older, just I love the movies even more. So
yeah, I'm still young as in terms of being a huge movie guy. So I don't even have 1,000 movies logged on Letterboxd yet. So
I think I do.
oh yeah, you do.
No, I do. I've always been a movie person from a very young age. So
I mean, I've been doing a lot of catching up because since I've had Letterboxd, I've added about 600 or something. So yeah, I mean, obviously, big movie person now, but that's just to say a lot of the movies on my list or all of them are movies that I've seen for the first time probably in the last 5 years or so. Or that I don't know. No, yeah, or that I saw again at an older age and it just holds up even better than I appreciate it now more as an adult. Yes. Okay, sweet.
So I guess we should just get right into it.
Yeah, and if you want, you can go first.
You want me to start?
Yes, and talk for a second because I need to go grab a water.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So 1 second.
Okay, so for my number 10 will be Child's Play 2. I've talked about this movie before, and we've mentioned it on this channel, but I figure why the fuck not talk about it again, because I love Chucky. And I could have put Bride of Chucky, but I think I've mentioned it before. I tend to go back and forth between Bride and Chucky and Child's Play 2 as like them being like back and forth for being number 1 for me. But Child's Play 2 as of this moment is like number 1 for me, but I love this one. I think it does a lot everything, don't get me wrong, I love the first Child's Play movie, but I just think the second one is so much better. And I think Chucky is a lot more villainous and a lot more brutal in here. And also his look is just a lot more fucking evil. And I just love his look in here. Obviously I love his look in Bride of Chucky, but like when I think of like OG Chucky, I think of this one. And I don't know, man, like I love everything. I know you're not like the biggest fan of one-liners or any quotes or anything like that, but some of his like most popular like one-liners come in here, like him with the teachers, like, "You've been very naughty, Mrs. Kettlewell," and like fucking starts killing her with the fucking ruler. And then you get that wide shot of like from the window of it just zooming out, and you still see the ruler go back and forth and back and forth. That kill is really fun. Or when like, this with Andy, like he's about to like kill Chucky, and then the stepdad comes in and he thinks Andy's like being fucking psychotic, and then all of a sudden Chucky like grabs this hook and like dangles him from his foot, and he's like, "How's it hanging, Phil?" and then just lets him go. I fucking love that. But no, I love Child's Play 2. Just everything about it. Also like the dynamic between Kyle and Andy I love, and I just think she's great. She was a really cool addition to the movies, and didn't get to see much of her until like obviously the show. We see her pop up again, but I think her and Andy's dynamic and everything is pretty good. And also, I like the whole third final act of it taking place in the factory and stuff. Like, it's so cool, and it looks like a maze, and just, yeah, man, like, I love this movie, and it definitely brings comfort any time I watch it. So, yeah.
What do you think makes it comfortable for you?
What makes it comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez, that's a loaded question.
Or is it just all the enjoyment from
I
it?
think it's just all the enjoyment, honestly. Just like the pace of the movie. It's not too long. It's, not too short either. It's a perfect balance. The movie moves at a steady pace.
Sure. You just
And-
enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
don't really have any.
That it brings comfort. Okay.
Yeah, really no negatives with this.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you have it. First movie listed is a horror movie. So
I had to do it.
it sounds like there's going to be at least one or two more of those being talked about today.
Yee.
So not your typical comfort movie list, maybe. Let's see.
What's your number 10?
My number 10. So we are in kind of stretch territory for me. I have Licorice Pizza at number 10.
Oh?
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that, but okay.
So as you know, I saw it,
5 times?
4 or 5 times while it was in theaters.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah,
I went to the premiere of it. I went to that same theater again in Westwood. I can't remember the name right now. Where Paul Thomas Anderson and Alana Haim were there.
I think that was the first one I went.
Yeah, I think so. And that was really cool. And then I saw it, I think.
Arizona.
I know we saw it in Arizona. I saw it with my parents. So that's 4 times. There may have been a 5th somewhere in there, or it might have just been 4. Either way, it's one of those movies that I watched a bunch, but I haven't watched since then. So that's why it's kind of a stretch, but I don't know. There was a reason I was watching it so much. I think it's got that kind of relaxed feel to it and nostalgic feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's something like, I was comparing it a lot to like Once Upon a Time at Hollywood at the time, which I don't know if I've heard a lot of people make that comparison, but just it's their structure. It's loose and it's kind of just like fun and like disjointed, but like in a way that I like, because it just kind of feels like life happening over a period of time. And I just find the characters to be very very enjoyable to watch, and I guess comforting in a way to just watch this like innocent kind of nostalgic story about this kid who's like got a thing for this girl, and then all this stuff ensues from it. I don't know. There's a lot of cool cameos, a lot of great needle drops in there. Just I guess it's kind of like your Chucky pick, where I think I just get a lot of enjoyment watching it, and it feels kind of comfy, cozy.
Yeah.
To me. So there
Skylar
you go.
Gizondo. Is that how you pronounce? Yeah. He's in that movie. I love him.
He's great. Yeah. And
everyone in that movie is actually really good.
There's like a playfulness to it and an innocence to it that just makes it feel comfortable for me. That's probably the best way I can put it. And Paul Thomas Anderson's great at that. And I guess I'll just say right now, it's not his only movie on my list. So
pretends to be shocked.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with you. There is like a feel. I can't describe
I know a
what
lot of
it
people
is.
didn't like that movie
Oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
there is
but
definitely criticism with that movie, but we won't be talking about that here.
nah,
But um,
I don't care.
but no, I definitely know what you mean by that. Cause yeah, like I think I only saw the movie 3 times. I don't remember.
Still a hefty amount of
Yeah, I
times.
saw it 3 times, and the last time, yeah, I saw it. The third time was in Arizona, and I fell asleep.
Right.
But yeah, I know there's definitely a type of feel in that movie, and I don't. Yeah, again, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like I don't know. It's a comforting, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a comfort feel when watching the movie, but
Yeah, that uh needle drop of "Let Me Roll It" always sticks out in my head, and I just like that song a lot, and I didn't know it before I saw the movie, and then since then I saw Paul McCartney, which was just really cool in and of itself, but
yeah.
he played that song and that was cool. um, but yeah, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good music,
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of fun characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the characters are in here are fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Like Bradley Cooper is fucking
Yeah,
funny
that
as
whole
hell.
part's hilarious.
Yeah, that part's amazing. That's like probably like one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. There's a lot though. There's a lot
Yeah.
of scene. I haven't seen the movie since I saw it in Arizona, but or at least clip like before I knocked out.
Yeah,
But yeah, no.
Benny Safdie's in it
Yeah,
too.
he's in there. He plays the politician, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
okay.
towards in the Bradley Cooper part, like that part where they're just like stuck on the hill and you see him like walking up, like power walking up the hill, always like that's always like never gonna leave my head, like how funny he looks in that.
Dude, that whole no, even the scene like after like when they're in the street after they what is it? I think when they got the gas and stuff, and he's just like kicking the shit in the background.
No. One of the best parts of the movie for sure.
Yeah, his appearance is great. Everyone in that movie is phenomenal, and it's like so good.
Yeah. In my opinion, underrated just because it gets a lot of hate. But
Yeah,
so if you haven't seen it and you've just heard a lot of dumb shit about it, give it a try. You might like it.
you got to eat pizza when you watch it too.
Sure, why not? All right, your turn. Number 9.
Okay, so my number 9 is a musical. I know that's
Okay.
probably shocking. People are like, "Wait, what?" But yes, I love musicals. But so, my number 9 is Chicago. I love this play, and just love the movie. It is so fucking good, and yeah, dude, the music's great. If you don't know what this is, it basically takes place in the 1920s, and it has to do with a girl named Roxy Hart who is on trial for shooting her boyfriend. And while being in jail, she meets this girl who's really popular, and her name's Velma Kelly, who's played by the Catherine Zeta-Jones. And yeah, dude, you got everyone in here. Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones. You got Renee Zellweger, which I'm not like the biggest fan of her. Like everyone loves her for like the Bridget Jones Diaries and stuff. Whatever. But I really love her in this. This is probably like one of my favorite roles by her. Yeah, you got Richard Gere in here. You got Queen Latifah. John C. Reilly's in here, who's like really good. He brings some. He's actually singing in here. Yeah, you got everyone in here, and it is so good. The dance scene, the music, the score, just everything about it. It is so good, and they really do bring the play to life, the Broadway play into the movie, and yeah, I don't really know much to say because I feel like there's a lot of like videos or just like articles that kind of like talked about like how great Chicago is, like the musical itself and just everything like that. So I won't be going too much in depth with here, but if you're at all interested, if you're into musicals or just whatever, um I would definitely say check it out because it is so good. And yeah. Um
Yeah.
yeah, that's about it. It's a comfort mine. I like can put this on and I'll automatically like start fucking singing along. Like, ugh, I love it so much.
Oh, you know what we should do at some point is comfort albums. Yeah.
I only got one. No, just kidding. No, that would be a good list. I'd be down to do that.
Yeah, I can't offer anything about the movie. Haven't seen it. I don't know if it would be my thing. But
I don't think so. But John C. Reilly's pretty funny in here. It's pretty. He's pretty good.
He's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been in some dumb shit, but he's been in a lot of great shit.
Yeah.
A lot of Paul Thomas Anderson shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. You want me to do my next one?
Sure.
I don't even consider. Let me see. I guess on Letterboxd this is considered part horror. It's Army of Darkness, number 9.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Uh,
it's a horror comedy, so.
it's another one that's kind of a kind of a stretch, but I don't know. It works in a different way from Licorice Pizza for me. It's just like I don't know. This I think Ash in this movie is very silly, like warm kind of presence.
Mm-hmm.
And just all the shenanigans, all the like the slapstick comedy in the movie and the I don't know, there's plenty of funny, like good jokes in this movie. And it's like an action that is not taking itself seriously. I guess
Yeah.
it's probably like Monty Python inspired or something. And I don't actually enjoy those movies, which is funny. But I love Sam Raimi. And you know, his Spider-Man movies would have been a nice comfort movie choice as well.
Ooh, I was thinking about putting number 2 on here, but I didn't. Oh well.
But yeah, I went with this one because I just think it's a good warm time. I showed it to my parents when they were here, who probably wouldn't have been into the first 2 movies because of the more horror aspect and gore and shit. But this one they somewhat enjoyed, which was kind of cool. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot for this one. And compared to how I talked about Licorice Pizza, maybe they should have even been switched. But yeah, these 2 are kind of like my stretch ones. Or maybe there's another one. I don't know. But like as you get towards the top, they'll hopefully make more sense.
Now, I will say, I'm a little surprised you have Army of Darkness when I know you love Evil Dead 2, and that's your number 1.
Yeah. No, it is my number 1, but I was going purely off of what makes me feel, I don't know, just like that sense of cozy is kind of what I was going for this list.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, it's hard to define a comfort movie and what makes it a comfort movie.
Yeah.
Like, just because I want to watch, or just because I watch a movie a ton of times doesn't necessarily mean it's a comfort movie for me. Like, I also watched The Lighthouse a ton. I didn't put that on the list. Spoiler alert. Like, I don't think it's a comforting movie.
Yeah.
Eraserhead, I don't think that's a comforting movie. Like, but I love it. And you know, nothing from David Lynch made my list because his movies are inherently like bizarre and like kind of unsettling, and like they're great for that. And like he has, you know, Mulholland Drive is one of my favorite movies ever.
Same.
But not a comfort movie for me. So yeah, this list I kind of thought about it at a different angle, And so Army of Darkness makes it on because it just provides a different feeling for me than Evil Dead 2 or even the first one, of course. So yeah.
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 Army of Darkness is good though, and that's interesting that you bring up the action.
It's
thing.
lighthearted, you know.
Yeah,
you can just watch it.
Yeah, it's a horror comedy. That's
Yeah.
like literally what it is.
And it's a
black comedy.
It's an emphasis on comedy because my mom does not like horror movies, and she got through this movie fine. Like I don't think there's really another horror movie I could show my mom.
Well, yeah, no, it definitely would be funny if you like showed her like Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, see, I don't think like there's comedy. There's comedy in there, but I don't think it would hit for her. You know.
Well, yeah, that one is like kind of plays on. I mean, well, I guess you can. I mean, both of them are really like horror comedies, but Evil Dead 2 is horror comedy, and then you got Army of Darkness, and that's like a straight up comedy movie because there's hardly any horror in the movie. You get the evil little ashes and mini Bruce's, that scene and the skeletons and stuff like that. But other than that, there's like no scares in here. It's just straight up Ash.
The mini Bruce's is funny.
Well, no, that whole scene is amazing. I love that. But
when he gets to where he needs to say the words and he forgets them. And
yeah.
No, it's just it's a very funny, lighthearted movie. And, and it's also very good. And so that's enough to make this list for me. Yeah.
Army of Darkness is great. That's funny though, because I was actually thinking about putting Army of Darkness on my list.
There you go.
So good that you actually put it on yours.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay, so for my number 8, I have Memoirs of a Geisha. I love this movie. I had always heard about it when I was younger, and I've like always wanted to watch it, but never really got a chance to see it until I was about like 12 years old. Mm-hmm. I think I was like 12 or 13 years old. I was at my aunt's house, like spending the weekend, and I was talking to her about this movie, and she just so happened to have it on DVD. And she was telling me like, oh yeah, like I think you'd really enjoy the movie if you like want to watch it so badly. So I eventually watched it, and oh my God, it is so good. The cinematography, the score, just everything in this movie is amazing. And I love the actors and actresses in here. If you don't know what this movie's about, it's basically about it sets place in Japan, and it's years before World War II, and it's about this girl, if Shayon, I think that's how you Suri. I'm not really good at pronouncing these names, but it's her and her sister, and they end up going to I think it's in Japan, is it? Or in Japan, and they end up getting separated, and the Sari, I think how you pronounce her name, she ends up going to a house of a geisha, and she ends up working there, and eventually she ends up becoming a geisha herself. But and then a whole bunch of things just happen after that. It's actually really interesting and fascinating to watch and stuff like that. And also just the culture of like geishas itself, and the movie kind of goes into it, and just it's really pretty. It's and really beautiful, and the story itself is like pretty tragic and sad. And it's also there's also like a love story in here as well, mixed in. Though I don't really care for the love story all that much. I could do without, and I kind of wish the movie didn't romanticize the love interest because it's a little weird. But aside from that, I love this movie, and yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Another one that I haven't seen, but if it's the one I'm thinking of, I've seen the poster like my whole life. Let me see. Geisha. Oh, Memoirs of... Yeah, I've seen this poster forever, but never saw the movie.
I don't know if you'd like it or not. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to say I think you just think the movie's fine.
Yeah. All right. and I'll get into my next one. Let me pull that list back up. I was writing down some uh honorable mentions. We can do those before we unveil our top picks, I guess.
Sure.
So, because they do have a handful of those, more like potential comfort movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8 for me. I guess we still have a couple stretches here. So I have The Big Lebowski at number 8.
Hey!
Um,
Fucking love that movie.
Probably for a lot of the same reasons that Licorice Pizza was on here.
Yeah.
They're both very wacky movies. There's a lot of silly characters, a lot of memorable quotes in here. And it has been quoted to death. But yeah, I think it's one of my favorite comedies ever, and often regarded as just one of the best comedies ever. And for good reason. And yeah, if I'm giving a comedy like a 4.5 or a 5, then like I feel like it would be weird if it wasn't in my top 10 comfort movies, because comedy is inherently supposed to be, kind of comforting.
Yeah.
Compared to something like horror or like I don't know, a tearjerker drama. A comedy is, supposed to make you feel good. And,
Yeah.
that's what this movie does. It's just a blast to watch. It's got pretty great rewatchability. There's a lot of shit that happens. Like, you can watch this. I know there's like a joke about the movie that you can watch it like a million times and still not really get what the plot is, because a lot of people don't really pick up on what's going on with, I think Bunny is her name. I don't remember though. It's been a minute since I saw it. Yeah, like the actual plot is is like surprisingly intricate.
Yeah.
And you just kind of watching this dude go through all these like it's like all these high stakes situations presented through the lens of just like a guy who can't be bothered, and it like makes a great contrast and dynamic between the characters and the plot, and it's hilarity ensues. And John Goodman's amazing in this movie. Fucking hilarious as well. Probably the most quotable guy in the movie.
I fucking love him in here. It's the whole scene. I forget. Oh, dude, I fucking forget. But I think when they're talking about
on the Sabbath, dude.
Yep. You got our boy Steve Buscemi in here too.
Oh yeah,
he's fucking great. It's just, yeah, dude. It's funny. Again, another movie I actually had on my list. I had because I fucking love. Yeah, I love this movie. I could fucking quote this movie line for line, which I have before. Yep. So, yeah, no, Big Lebowski's fucking great, man.
Fantastic movie. So yeah, that's my number 8. Yeah, I guess as I talk about them, it seems less like a stretch. It's just I don't. These aren't usually the ones that I actually rewatch a lot. They're more just ones that like I consider to be some of the best of their genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like, they're feel good movies. So, for me at least. All right. You can go number 7.
Okay, so my number 7 is Young Frankenstein. I love this movie. If you don't know this movie,
I've heard about it.
Yeah, I think you've heard it because of me.
That was the joke. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, if you don't know this movie, I highly recommend watching this. It is by Mel Brooks. It stars the late Gene Wilder, and Yeah, dude, this movie is comical. It is fucking hilarious. I found no. I didn't even find this movie. I just randomly watched it one day. On I think I was like at my grandpa's house when I was younger, and it was on the classic movie channel because that's all he watched. And I was watching it and I automatically fell in love with this movie. It was hilarious. And the reason how I found this movie actually was because of Big Daddy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a scene in from Young Frankenstein that is in the movie Big Daddy, and I had always wanted to see this movie. So yeah, when I was at my grandpa's house, it just so happened to be about to be playing, and I was so excited because yeah. And yeah, you have Gene Wilder in here. You have who else? Yeah, Gene Wilder, fucking Terry Garr. You got Marty Feldman and Cloris Leachman. Probably some of you guys are like, who are these people? But they're all freaking hilarious. The jokes are, yeah, the comedy, just everything. It doesn't even feel outdated either because it came out in 1974 and the comedy is still top notch. It is freaking hilarious. It's amazing, and it's a comedy based obviously off of Frankenstein. And if you know and you've seen the movie, like you can just watch this and like get the jokes automatically. But it's hilarious. I love this movie. Yeah, I don't really have, I'm just gonna keep rambling on, but yeah, this movie's amazing and I highly recommend that you watch it. But yeah, that's my number 7.
All right. Nice. Yep. Another one I can't comment on.
You need to watch it.
You've seen everything on my list, I think. So.
No surprise there.
Okay. So we're at number 7 for me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So maybe the first one, I don't know, unless Army of Darkness, but definitely one of the ones on my list that may be a head scratcher for some. I have Good Will Hunting here.
That's a good movie.
Because I think a lot of people think of this movie as like a tearjerker, or just like not really like not necessarily a comforting movie, but for me, it is, or more accurately, it was when I really needed it. So it made the list. Because in 2019, when I like really got into it, I watched it repeatedly, and I watched it with the commentary, and all this stuff, and like a lot of that had to do with me getting into Elliott Smith also around the time, and just like knowing he did the soundtrack, and it made me curious at first, and then like I just kind of discovered how great the movie itself was too. And yeah, I don't know, a lot of that stuff that might be tearjerker moments for other people, like the dynamic between Robin Williams and Matt Damon. For me, was like what I needed at that time when I was feeling really down and uninspired, and like my life had hit a wall. I felt inspired by seeing Will's journey in the movie, and how his therapist helps him. And I think like, yeah, it's like kind of a simple movie. People will call it Oscar bait and all this stuff, but I think it like for me it genuinely touched on something, and
yeah,
gave me comfort when I needed it. So that's kind of in here for that reason. It provided me like specific comfort at a specific time of my life. I haven't watched it too recently. I showed it to Maddie. I don't think she was huge on it.
No.
Uh,
Rip.
I don't think she was really here or there on it. But yeah, it's one of those movies where I recommend it to a lot of people and they won't watch it because they don't want to be sad. So
It is such a good movie, though. It really is.
there's a couple movies like that. Uh, just
There's a
in
reason.
general, where there's a movie that I'm like, this is the best movie I've ever seen, or one of them.
Yeah.
You need to watch it. And the second I say like it'll make you cry, they're like, nope, not watching that.
But
So.
there's a reason why it won like best original script, because it won an Oscar for it, for the movie.
Yeah, and Elliott Smith was nominated.
Yeah.
For Miss Misery.
There was
really
the
cool.
movie got nominated for a lot of awards that year. I remember. Yeah.
He lost to Titanic.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So not much more to go into on that one. It's much easier for me to know why that one's on the list. So there we go.
That's a good pick.
You're number 6. Thank you.
Yeah. So for my number 6, it will be The Devil Wears Prada. I love this movie. You have Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep, and just you got Stanley Tucci in here. You got and Emily Blunt in here as well. But it's Meryl Streep that steals the show as Miranda Priestley. And if you don't know what this movie is about, it pretty much has to do with the real life of Anna Wintour, my bad, who is like the editor-in-chief and all of that for Vogue. Very big in the fashion world and pop culture in general. And so, yeah, it basically has to do with this girl. Her name's Andy, and she's trying to make it up in the big city, trying to be a writer, but she ain't getting gigs anywhere. So she decides to work as an internship at this magazine company, and it just so happens to be like the It magazine company, and she has no idea what she's getting herself into. She's never even heard of Miranda Priestley, and she's not big into fashion or anything. And she comes to this interview and right off the bat, like, does not fit in at all. But Meryl Streep, who plays Miranda, she decides to take a chance on her, and you just pretty much throughout the whole movie just have to see her go through all this stuff and whatever. And there's a lot of things, there's a lot of videos and like stuff like that, kind of like talking about how Miranda is the villain in here. And you could probably take that at face value when watching the movie, but the boyfriend in here is the real villain. It's not Miranda. It's Andy's boyfriend, because he's the one to get upset at her for wanting to make a big change in her life, to want to do this internship. And will do well for her in her future, but he doesn't think about that, and he's being a complete dick to her. But anyways, sorry to go off that little tangent, but yeah, no, I love this movie. It is so good. It's a comfort. Again, obviously it's a comfort movie of mine, and I really love Meryl Streep in here, and I also love Anne Hathaway in here as well. So and it's also based off the book too. So I have not read the book, but I heard that it's pretty identical to the movie and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fun, it's cute, it's charming, and yeah, that's about it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yep, another one I haven't seen. Not the first time you've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah.
So, a favorite for you, for sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's funny because with all my picks, there's a little back and forth, but on yours, I haven't seen any of them. So,
what do you mean back and forth?
Like you have something to comment on my movies, but I don't have anything for yours.
That usually how it goes.
I haven't seen them.
Yeah. Again, that's usually how it goes between us.
And even if I had seen them, if I didn't like it, I mean, I'm not going to shit on anything because it's your comfort movie. So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
But no, I just haven't seen it. Okay. So my number 6 Um, I feel like this one's a comfort movie for a lot of people, actually. Or not just this, but the trilogy. I put the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Hell yeah.
And this was another one that, yeah, like I do think it's probably a comfort movie for a lot of people, but
Fucking love Lord of the Rings.
maybe it's unclear why because of what the actual story is about, but I don't know. I specifically settled on putting the first movie here because it has the whole like intro, like the whole first hour or so at the Shire, right?
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah.
I can't remember what they call the area. The thing with these movies is I haven't watched through them in a few years. I want to watch them again. That's how they ended up here in the first place, because this is a movie and a series that I think about. Oh, it would be so nice to watch those right now. Like,
I have not seen these movies since I was fucking 8 years old, so I would love to do a rewatch.
I think I'm going to rewatch them pretty soon. I've been saying that for a while.
I hope,
I have
because I want to rewatch so bad.
I have the UBP 820 Blu-ray 4K player. I have finally ordered it.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be coming in soon. So once I get that, I'm going to want to test it with something good. And I've got the Lord of the Rings, the Middle Earth 4K collection. So I think I'll be getting back to them soon. But yeah, definitely. I've never done the extended version, so I might do that.
Hell yeah.
Been told by everyone I need to. Yeah, specifically the first movie just has this very cozy feeling to it. It's before shit gets real fucked up.
Yeah.
In the story, I mean, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. but yeah, it's specifically like before they go on their quest, it feels like a very fleshed out like little land of hobbits. That everyone's happy and it's a nice innocent cozy time before they go on their quest. And then as the quest ensues, and you meet the Fellowship of the Ring, all the characters are there's like a little brotherhood going on between them all, and it's just a nice feeling to watch.
Yeah.
And of course it's just a beautiful looking movie that will help with any movie.
Oh my god, the fucking CGI and everything is fucking great.
Yep. A beautiful looking warm palette movie will definitely help you help a movie feel cozy and land on my comfort list. So there you have it.
Do you wear wigs?
Me? No.
Will you wear wigs?
Is that from an interview?
You don't know? Wow.
Or is it in the movie?
No, it was the interview for the movie.
So with
maybe
it was Elijah Wood and Dominic Monaghan.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the famous one.
I love that.
Well, I haven't seen that interview in a long time. So I totally didn't get that.
That interview like lives in my mind rent free 24/7. I was hoping you'd get the reference, and you did. So
kinda.
Well, no, you picked it up right off.
I knew what it was from, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't really remember the context or any of it.
Well,
all good. All right.
Yeah.
Into our top fives.
Okay. So my number 5 is a movie I've talked about again on this channel, and it is House of Wax.
I thought that might make it in.
Yeah.
When I walked to my room and got water, I was like, did she say House of Wax? And you didn't, but now you did.
Yeah, now I did. But and this is the remake, obviously the one from 2000, 2006?
I thought it was 5. I don't know.
2005. Hold on, I always forget the fucking date.
I'm not sure though.
And not date, the year. Yeah, I was right. Oh no, I was wrong. I was 2005. Yeah. The remake, I mean, yeah, I fucking love this. It's one of my personal favorite horror movies and one of my personal favorite remakes, which I don't have many, by the way, but this is one of them. And how can I not talk about it when it includes one of my personal favorite bands on the soundtrack? And it has my favorite band at the end credits, which is the best end credits to ever exist, in my personal opinion. Like, what other movie has My Chemical Romance playing? Hello?
I would put Ocean Man at the end of the SpongeBob movie.
Okay,
up
well,
there.
no, okay, that's pretty fucking good.
That's
Okay,
up there.
yeah. Yeah, no, I would say
I
that's
just have to say, well,
no, that's number one. I agree. That is probably like hands down the best.
oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
But anyways, yes, no. I fucking love this movie. I don't know what, but man, anytime I watch it, I just feel a wave of nostalgia. Cuz it just takes me back to a time from when I was a kid. I remember going to go see this with my cousins in theaters, and was like, I mean, yeah, I think I've talked about this before, but I wasn't really the biggest fan of this movie when I was younger. But it was kind of a movie that I used to hate watch all the time. And especially because I had one of my sisters who actually really liked this movie, that just constantly wanted to watch this movie. We rented it one time on a fucking, what is it, back in the day on Blockbuster, and we never returned the movie, so we had it. So like every Halloween we'd watch it, and I would get annoyed, but when I somehow grew to love it. So yeah, just everything about this movie just screams nostalgia. It just takes me back to a place when I was a kid. Yeah, when watching it when it came out in theaters. And also this movie, I think at the time, came out like around the summertime. So I kind of get that feel when I'm watching the movie. It just reminds me of the summer, kind of like August, September. And yeah, just everything screams like 2000s. Like, yeah, My Chemical Romance playing at the end credits. You got Chad Michael Murray, who was also really big, like with fucking One Tree Hill. And you have Paris Hilton in here, which, to be fair, she's not like that bad in here. She's pretty good. And yeah, you got the kills are fucking great in here. There's some also like, yeah, people in wax, like the effects and all of that are pretty great too. And just, yeah, it's really good. And the soundtrack to this fucking movie is fucking banger. You got fucking Deftones, you got fucking, what else? I think yeah, My Chemical Romance is on here. You got a few other people on here, but yeah, the soundtrack is really fucking great. And there's really not much to say because I've talked about this movie at length. But yes, that is my number 5.
Yes. Well, we know that I disagree about Paris Hilton. But
yeah, I know.
But I have seen this one, and I can see it being a comfort movie. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And I went in thinking that I would just think it was really dumb, like in a bad way, but it was dumb in a good way.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Also, fun fact, the ending scene when the house is like burning down and stuff, they had to use CGI with some things, but what you see them peeling back and stuff like that, that's actual peanut butter. Yeah.
There you go.
So fun fact.
Very fun. All right, my number 5. We've got our second and final entry from Paul Thomas Anderson with Punch Drunk Love.
I love this movie.
Which I thought through and I decided is his most comforting movie to me.
It's my personal favorite and his best movie, in my opinion.
It's his smallest scale movie. In my opinion, his best movie and one of my favorites ever is Magnolia, but again, not a comfort movie.
Yeah.
That movie is gonna make you think. It's gonna make you sad, but not like necessarily in a comforting way. Um, but yeah, no, amazing movie, and this is too. And it's it's definitely one of my favorites. I think he's from the movies that I've seen, he's potentially my favorite director. I don't know. I haven't thought about it enough.
I think he's up there for you though. Probably
Yeah.
like in top 5.
Definitely in the top 5. Potentially my favorite though. I just don't know. His movies really connect with me more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Punch Drunk Love. It's got the fucking music from John Bryan in there.
Yep.
And the cinematography is beautiful. You've got fucking Adam Sandler of all people playing this very awkward and kind of stunted character that is sort of unpredictable. You don't really you don't really know how to approach this character, I feel like, when you first watch. And so it's kind of a cool movie in that there's such a unique dynamic just simply by presenting this character. And then you have he's falling in love with this woman who I think is also their whole dynamic's kind of strange, but like they work for each other. But he kind of messes up. I don't know. It's a love story with a good amount of there's a lot of space in the movie, I feel like, to just like take everything in.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a shorter movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a very different movie for Paul Thomas Anderson.
It's well paced though.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's well paced, but I mean it gives you the space to take everything in. There's some like scenes in there that like they make a whole scene out of him like grabbing the what is it? The instrument off the street.
Yeah.
I can't remember what instrument it was. Not like a keyboard, but something. Anyway, I'm totally failing to put it into words. But it's got that atmosphere mostly from the cinematography and the music and the love story of it all. And there's some funny shit in there too that is done in a very like subtle and smart way. And can't not mention Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is there for a very small amount of time. He's there and still makes one of the best scenes in the movie.
But even with the amount that we have him in this movie is fucking great.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely hilarious. It's amazing. Yeah, his performance, as always. And yeah, since I'm struggling to put it into words, I'll just say watch it. See if you get what I mean. I feel like it's a comforting movie.
Have you seen Paul Thomas Anderson or at least Adam Sandler talk about this movie? Because Paul Thomas Anderson actually wrote this movie with Adam Sandler in mind when he wrote the script.
I believe that Maddie and I went to a screening of it at the Arrow Theater, and Paul Thomas Anderson was there talking about it, but unfortunately I can't remember much of what he said there.
I actually saw this interview with Adam Sandler, and I think it was like I forgot who, but he was sitting down with the Brendan Fraser of last year, and
Mhm.
they were talking. They were doing like the actors on actors thing, and yeah, he Adam Sandler was talking about Punch Drunk Love, and he was saying like Paul Thomas Anderson, when he was like coming up with the movie and writing the script, he had already wrote the script in mind with Adam being the lead.
Mm.
So yeah, that's fun little fact. I was just wondering if you knew.
Yeah, maybe his best movie, because
It
the
is
the only other one could be Uncut
Uncut
Gems.
Gems.
And
Yeah,
personally, think I prefer Punch Drunk Love
I
ever
love.
ever so slightly.
Yeah,
So yeah,
both movies are really good, and you get pretty much like good ass fucking performances out of him in both those movies. But yeah.
yep. All right, sweet.
Okay, so my number 4. I mean, I feel like everyone's heard of this movie, so this should be like no shock.
Is
But
it
it
the
is
movie?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, okay.
Well, what do you think it was?
I thought you gave in and put Twilight there, but hey, maybe it's still coming. I don't know. Let's see.
No. But yes, it's Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, who hasn't seen this movie? Yeah, if you haven't, I feel like you should probably stop listening to this and go watch it, because it is great. It is amazing, and it's very hilarious. I mean, I feel like I probably won't be adding much conversation or anything new about this, but I mean, who doesn't love Mrs. Doubtfire? I mean, it's Robin Williams like at his fucking best, and he fucking nails it in here. He's fucking hilarious, and just it really sad. Obviously, he was like one of the best actors, and this is one of his like most prominent roles that everyone talks about. I mean, you mentioned Good Will Hunting.
Yep.
He's really good in that movie too, and he's awesome. This is where he he's amazing. Everyone in this movie is great, but obviously, you have Sally Field who's in here, who's also just freaking great too. But it's obviously Robin who like takes the show, and just it is great. It is hilarious, and it was a movie that I always constantly watched when I was younger, and it's a movie now that I'm older, and I still constantly watch from time to time. And it is definitely a movie that brings me like enjoyment. And I can recite this fucking movie line for line. Just oh my god, it's great. But Mrs. I won't ramble on too much, but Mrs. Doubtfire at my number 4.
Cool. Yeah, I did see that one with you
Yeah,
because you recommended it, because I hadn't seen it.
yeah, but you didn't care for it.
I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people do love it, and probably you're not the only one it's a comfort movie for. So,
Mm-hmm.
not taking that away or anything. All right.
Yeah. What's your number 4?
My number 4. It's probably the funniest pick on here.
Oh.
I guess, this is one where I was like, where I made that comment like, oh, I'm just trying to be quirky by putting this on my list.
Mm.
But I'm not. I put The Shining at number 4.
Jeez.
Because, I mean, yes, it's my favorite horror movie, but it's not like just about the movie itself.
Yeah.
There are things about the movie that, I mean, I meant to say it's not about just the quality of the movie itself. There's things about the movie that comfort me for some reason, because I also stand by that it's a very effectively scary movie, and Jack's an effectively scary character, and like I'm not trying to take away from that by saying that's a comfort movie. It's just there's I think a lot of it is that they're in a hotel covered by snow in the mountains.
Yeah.
And that's just like a very cozy thing for some reason. Like, as someone who grew up around a shit ton of snow all the time, what feels cozy to me is being inside, uh, in a warm house, like on the couch, just like kind of bundled up, maybe drinking some hot chocolate or something. Well, there's snow outside, and like I love looking at like houses that are covered in snow or a hotel covered in snow in this case.
Or, just, you're at the hotel and it's snowing and you feel comfort, and then you try to go in the elevator. There's a bunch of blood everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
or, you get twins in the hallway.
Nice hotels also make me feel a sense of comfort. And it just looks like a cozy place. Like, I know it's not. It's an evil place, but I don't know. I came to terms with that. Like, this is another movie that I think about watching all the time, and I just think of like, oh, that'd be so nice and cozy to sit on the couch and drink hot chocolate and watch The Shining. So
no, you're not wrong about that. I agree.
Here it is. It only makes sense in my head. I'm not trying to make some objective argument for The Shining is a cozy movie, because it's not, but to me it is. Notice how like all my reasoning had nothing to do with the actual subject matter or the plot of Jack going crazy and trying to murder his family, because that part's not very cozy, but just something about, and it's also of course got to do with Stanley Kubrick being a masterful auteur director.
Yeah,
every shot in the movie looks beautiful. The colors in the movie are beautiful. Despite all the crazy and upsetting shit going on.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
And that ending.
Yeah. Snow. It's comfy.
The Shining is like a fucking like amazing movie, so not really surprised to see it on here.
Yeah, there's a few up here that I don't think most people would call comfort movies for me. Like, I think the rest of my list, most people wouldn't call comfort movies. But this is probably the best. This is probably
the
most,
best, I would say.
Yeah, this is probably the most out there one that like people probably can't even see why I would put this on this list, but here it is. So there you go.
That's fair though.
Cool.
Yeah.
Top 3?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So my number 3 is Cruel Intentions. I love and am obsessed with this movie. I fucking love it. It stars Sarah Michelle Gellar. You got Selma Blair, Reese Witherspoon, and Ryan Phillippe in here. And it is dumb. It is trashy. It is campy and is very full of teen drama. And I fucking love that. Oh, and there's like a little bit of incest in here. So that's interesting.
Gotta love that. Yeah.
Yeah. A movie that definitely would not be made today. But hey, this was 1999 and they were like, hey, fuck it. Let's go for it. And it totally fucking works. There's an iconic kissing scene in here that made 15-year-old me fucking panic at the time. And I was just, 15-year-old me not figuring out her sexuality. But when I saw this scene, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely fucking bi.
Hooray.
But it's fucking amazing. If you love trashy like teen drama shit, like this is the movie for you. It is fucking hilarious. I fucking love this movie. I think everyone in here for the most part does pretty good, but like I fucking love Sarah Michelle Gellar in her. Like she is so fucking great as like a villain. Her name in the movie is Catherine. And she's fucking amazing in here. I don't want to give too much away because pretty much I don't want to spoil the movie just because. But it is fucking great. Before there was Gossip Girl, it was Cruel Intentions. Also the ending. The ending is fucking amazing. It is so like over the top, and you have Bittersweet Symphony playing at the end, and it just screams 90s, and yeah, it is so great. But yeah, that's my fucking number 3, Cruel Intentions.
Hell yeah. Haven't seen it.
I don't think
I'm
you'd like it.
guessing I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Teen drama is probably my least favorite genre. But hey, I'm glad it did that for you. Glad it comforts you. I also have at number 3 a movie many will call outdated and problematic and blah blah blah. Can you guess what it is? It's American Beauty.
Oof.
Still one of my favorite movies, despite it's despite all of that. I like when I think about it, the last thing I think about with American Beauty is the I guess central plot line and how creepy that is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different threads in this movie, and there's a lot of different kind of emotions and different things that these characters want or need, and some of them get what they need, some of them don't. There's a lot of cool twists and turns in the multiple threads of story. You've got the main story, which is about an older dude trying to fuck a younger woman in high school. So
Yikes.
that is of course always what is not going to hold up, and I think that should have even been a little weird at the time personally, but obviously that's not, I'm not like watching the movie rooting for him to fuck the little like girl. It's the rest of what goes on around the movie. Not that I don't relate to Lester Burnham's character at all in some ways, because that whole like thing being the central plot is part of a bigger it's part of his midlife crisis, right? Like
Yeah.
his learning, he's not happy and he feels he's stagnated, and he wants to break free. Like I think last time I talked about the movie, I made a funny comparison to Breaking Bad with Walter White.
What?
Because
Wait, what?
Because if you think about it, they're closer than you might expect. Where they both kind of hit a changing point in a turning point in their life. And they're like, "Hey, I'm not happy," and then they're unfulfilled. They kind of just unapologetically start doing what they want to do and what they need to do to fulfill themselves. And not just, I'm not going to spoil Breaking Bad by elaborating on that, but
well, I mean, if you've seen Breaking Bad, then you know.
Yeah. But yeah. So his whole like fucking this younger girl thing fantasy he has is an outdated way of expressing that he's trying to take back what like his own kind of youth and the and just reclaim his own freedom and happiness at this point in his life. And of course it holds up even less because he is played by Kevin Spacey.
Rip and big ol' oof.
Big ol' oof. But also, if you know me, I always do remove the art from the artist, and I will say unapologetically that Kevin Spacey killed the role in this movie. He is, not a good dude. Not a good dude, but
Nah.
killed the role in the movie.
No, I think the plastic bag.
The bag did a good job. But yeah, see, there's a whole subplot right there. With Lester's daughter and the weirdo who also like doesn't hold up, but like if you if you get past the fact that a lot of this stuff is dated and you just like see it for what it is, then like if you like let it impact you, you can feel the things that the movie was going for.
Yeah.
And that is how I tend to watch movies. I try not to get all up in my like, oh my god, this is problematic and whatever. Like, and just, you know, take it for what it is. So yeah. Point wasn't really to discuss the content of the movie so much as that it is a comfort movie for me. I watched it a few times. This one's another one I showed my parents and they loved it. I showed Brandon and he liked it. He's not a movie guy.
No, American Beauty really is good.
Yeah, no. And you know, there's so much stuff in here. There's the neighbor.
Oh,
his whole arc with the weird guy's dad. Who's like homophobic and I won't spoil the story, but yeah. And Lester's wife has an arc too. Like
there's like a bunch of side stories. And it all connect.
Comes together.
It all comes together by the end.
Yeah,
which is actually really good.
I'll be real. The first time I watched it, I was really confused because I saw all the praise for it, and I was about 40 minutes in. I was like, "This." I just thought it felt like American Pie or something. So if you feel like the same way, just keep watching. Like,
the girl
because
is an American Pie.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I meant like it didn't seem like it was anything particularly big or great. Like it felt like very confusing to me that it has gotten all the praise it has. But if you watch past there, if you don't get up on it, I think it gets much more interesting and much more thought-provoking.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. If you can, like me, separate all the shit and just enjoy it as it is, then you may also find comfort in the movie. But I don't know. I'm aware that it's also kind of a fucked up movie just as it is. So
well, yeah. There
you go. Yeah, don't have great defense for that one, but it is one of the ones that just comes to mind as a movie that I like to rewatch. There aren't a lot of those, so there you go.
Yeah, no, American Beauty is really good. So, yeah, I was kind of expecting this movie to make to probably be on your list. So
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
It's one of those movies I show people if they haven't seen it. So
it's definitely a movie if you. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's definitely a movie that if you haven't seen it, you definitely should watch it because.
And then make up your own opinion. Maybe it'll bother you. Maybe you'll love it. Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we do honorable mentions now, or when we get to our number one?
Before number one, because there should be two left. That was my number 3. There might have been something out of order. So let's see.
Wait, we should be 2 more?
There should be 2 more.
I thought we were doing 10.
We did.
This is my number 2.
This is your number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we do honorable mentions before number 1.
Oh, so yeah. Okay, so I mentioned my number. Okay.
So go for number 2 right now.
Okay, that's what I was. Okay. So my number 2 is Thelma and Louise. If you haven't seen this movie,
Me.
Oh, well, fuck. I was going to go into spoilers. Well, I'm going to be very vague with this one then because I do not want to spoil this movie for James. But,
Oh yeah, I think it's what I want to see. Let me see.
yeah, I think you have. Yeah, I know you haven't seen this movie, but I totally
Yeah,
forgot.
I want to get to this one.
Yeah,
so.
okay. So, won't be talking as much as I thought I was gonna. So, I'll keep it very vague, but it's definitely a movie I highly recommend, and it is pretty iconic. The ending shot is very well known. I remember, yeah, because of the ending shot, I always remember seeing and hearing about this movie of like how great it was and just everything. And yeah, just yeah, when I was younger, I always heard so many great things about this movie. It took me a while to get to finally watch it. I think I was about like 14 or 15 when I finally had the chance to watch it. It was playing like on the movie channels and it just was about to start and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah." Finally sat down and watched it and I came out loving the movie. Yeah, you have Susan Sarandon in here. You have fucking what is it? Yeah, Gina Davis in here. You got Brad Pitt. This was one of his I think one of his first roles in here. He's in here and yeah, it is so good. So amazing. Has to deal with friendship in here and just a bunch of stuff's happening. An incident happens as to why the uh yeah, there's something that happens in here and the movie just goes from there. And throughout the whole time of like their journey, they like find strength in one another and their friendship, and obviously just a whole bunch of other stuff that goes down in this movie. And I think it works very well. And yeah, no, won't go on too much because I would be getting in a spoiler territory. So I'll just stop myself right now. And yeah, highly recommend watching Thelma and Louise. But yeah, that's my number 2.
Cool. Fair enough. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Number 2. My number 2. That's gonna be Donnie Darko. Shouldn't be a surprise.
Pretends to be shocked. What?
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I don't think this is. I think this is a weird comfort movie. Also, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe for the right people, this is a comfort movie. But yeah, for me, pretty much endlessly rewatchable at this point for me, which is extremely rare for me. And yeah, Donnie Darko and American Beauty both come to mind when I think of movies I like to rewatch or would call a comfort movie. So that's why they're both here towards the top.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably got a lot to do with the nostalgia feeling. Like the movie thrives off of this nostalgia, and it's nostalgia for the 80s, which I don't have nostalgia for the 80s being born in 97, but it just conveys this feeling of nostalgia very well through the music, through the look of the film, and just the fact that like it takes place in high school, which is a universally nostalgic thing because everyone went to school,
Yeah.
And you kind of have this misunderstood protagonist who's kind of awkward as well, and just kind of at a rebellious phase, and but not, I don't know, it doesn't feel immature to me. It feels like it's I'm not going to pretend it's the smartest movie I've ever seen or anything like that, because
I mean, there's obviously throughout after this movie, there's movies who do it better, but yeah, no, I agree.
This is a perfect coming of age movie, which is a very nostalgic and comforting thing to me, I guess. Um, and yeah, I just think there's a lot of characters, a lot of moments that are very um, reminiscent of high school
Yeah.
or just like the characters in your own life. Um, but it's all from the lens of Donnie, who's a very, like, I find understandable, empathetic kind of character to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him, do a lot of good things, make a lot of good impacts on everyone, and um, kind of like what's being said might not be like the most deep or unique, like, new concepts ever, but it's just there's something satisfying about watching him tell off these teachers and like kind of going against the system at a high school level, but
Yeah.
it's another one that I don't know how to describe because it's just kind of a feeling. I feel very at home watching it.
Yeah.
I feel just very comforted by all of it, the music, the characters, the look of it, the feel of it.
Nah, I fucking love this movie. It's definitely not a movie I rewatch all the time, but I've seen it enough times. So I mean, yeah, I see why it's your why it's your favorite, because yeah, this movie really is great. I think you've talked about this movie before on the channel, and I think I've mentioned about how it's one of my personal favorite, like, Jake Gyllenhaal roles, which I still agree. It's definitely one of my personal favorites from him. Uh yeah, dude, the score, the music though.
Yeah,
The
the 80s
music,
shit.
the way they utilize the music in here is fucking great. They got
Tears for Fears.
yeah,
of
Tears
course.
for, I fucking love that song.
Echo the
And
Bunnyman.
yeah, and the way that they
The
utilize
Killing
this,
Moon.
yeah, the way they utilize the song in here, like when he's entering through the school, works so well, and it lines up with each of the characters that we see later on in the movie, like, line up perfectly how we see them later on in the film.
And Mad World. Like,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it became like
Such a meme.
such a meme,
Yeah.
but despite it being a meme, and like I only knew that song as a meme before I saw the movie,
Yeah.
I still found the ending to be very effective. And I'm not
Yeah.
going to spoil what the ending is, but like, yeah, I didn't find the fact that it was a meme to cheapen the moment or anything.
The song still works well, even it being a meme.
Yeah, and
Just makes it better, in my opinion.
and I think the layer of like mystique around the movie and
Yeah.
kind of the tragic ending, kind of like, I don't know, it's sad, but not in a way that like just bums me out. It's sad in like a way of like, I don't know, resting your head on a pillow. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
It's like a soft landing, but it's like the feeling of acceptance and growing from it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very hard to put shit like this into words. I knew it would be difficult, but I'm trying my best. I'll leave it there for that one. That's my number 2, so we still have one more.
I was gonna say there's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, they got Drew Barrymore in here. You got what's his face?
Jerry Trainor's in here.
Yeah,
for
I
a
was
second.
just about to say you got my boy.
That's funny.
Well, actually, no, my main boy is in here.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is in here.
He's
Oh my
here for a
god,
second.
he looks like a fucking cholo in here. It's so funny. But yeah, you got Jerry Trader in here. Drew Barrymore is in here. You have a lot of people in here, but yeah, Donnie Darko's a very good fucking movie.
Yeah, Jake's sister's in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
Good.
if you want to run some honorable mentions and then do your number 1, then I'll do the same thing.
Oh geez. Okay. Hold on. I gotta like pull up my thing.
I'm not really gonna go into depth about any honorable mentions. I'm just gonna kind of rattle them off, maybe say a word or two. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too crazy either. But
you don't have to go through 100 movies.
yeah, I know. So some of my honorable mentions will be Uptown Girls, Napoleon Dynamite, The Big Lebowski, Anywhere But Here, Stepmom, uh, Perks of Being a Wallflower, Long Shot, Cinderella Story, 13 Going on 30, Legally Blonde, She's the Man, Aquamarine, Bring It On, All or Nothing, Shrek,
Twilight. Yeah, of course, Shrek.
Shrek and Shrek 2,
I said Twilight's got to be there. Come on.
High
Nolan.
School Musical, all 3 movies,
Okay, wait. So is
and yeah, my Twilight movies.
okay, Twilight. So
You didn't let me finish.
I don't know what your number one is, but I feel like there's at least one movie that you still have to mention.
Which is
Okay, well, you are supposed to go into your number one. So what's your number one?
okay. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. But I don't think you'll wait. How about you tell me what you think my number one is, and I'll tell you.
Well, it's between two, so I want to hear if it's either of them.
No, I want to hear your guess first, though.
I want to hear yours first.
Bitch,
I'll tell you what I thought, but I'm thinking one of them might be your number one, and if not, then I'm going to be kind of surprised.
Okay, because I don't think I've talked about this movie with you.
Okay.
So
it's not, but then I feel like these should have been on your honorable mentions. But go for it. Number one. What's it?
My number one is Showgirls.
Okay, yeah, no. So I thought Mean Girls.
Oh, Mean Girls.
Been
Okay.
watching the shit out of that.
Maddie was.
And the other one is The Social Network, because you just said that's one of your favorite comfort movies the other day.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Well, you cut me off and then I stumbled and then I just said Twilight movies, so yeah.
Oh.
But no, Social Network.
You were going to read your whole 100 movies, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. I was trying to read off like ones that like, yeah. I mean, if you want to see my full 118 comfort movie list, self promo, but check out my letterbox, hoes. But anyways, yeah, no.
Are you gonna drop your letterbox name?
Oh, I mean, if you follow me on social media, it's like what it is, but Cherry Viper.
Okay, cool. There you go.
Yeah, that's me. Hee hee. But but anyways, yeah, Showgirls. Have not talked about this movie with you. And
I have heard about it.
Yes, this is the movie.
The most mixed movie in the world.
Well, yeah, it is one of the most hated movies and one of the most beloved movies.
Yeah.
And you can lie in either camp.
Kyle MacLachlan's in it.
Yep. You got wait, who?
Kyle MacLachlan.
Oh yeah, he is very emo in this movie.
Cool.
I love it. But yeah, no. I love this movie. I should have not been watching this movie because this movie is NC-17, and I saw this movie when I was 11. And was I not prepared for the amount of titties I was going to see in this movie? But you know what? It's all good. It paid out for me. But yeah, no. This movie got shit on at the time that it came out, and it was also the time that who is in this movie, Elizabeth Berkley. If you don't know, she was on the show from like the very popular 90s. What is it? With Mario Lopez. I forgot what that fucking show is called. Oh, Saved by the Bell. Yeah. This was right after the show ended and stuff. So this was her like big like movie break. And yeah, obviously didn't do so well. And because of that, because of the movie being so fucking bad at the time, it pretty much got her blacklisted. She didn't really have money roles after this. I mean, she did, but it wasn't anything big. So yeah, her taking on this movie was like supposed to be her big break and stuff like that. But it went in a different direction, sadly. But throughout time, the movie actually kind of gained a cult following, and a lot of like people from the gay community actually took this movie in and pretty much like owned it. And so like now you end up in the camp whether you see the direction of what the movie was going for and you kind of just fall into the campiness and the cheesiness of this movie, or you end up on the side of being like, wow, this was really fucking stupid. What the fuck was he thinking going for this? So you end up, you really end up in either two of those camps. But I love this movie. Yeah, it is really dumb. It's really stupid. It's so camp. It's very cheesy and just so over the top and dramatic. But I feel like the actors and everyone in this movie knew the type of movie that they were making. They knew this was stupid and they knew this was dumb, and they kind of just roll with that. And you can probably take that however you want when watching the movie. But no, it is great. I think Nomi and Crystal should have ended up together. Very annoyed that they didn't, because they could have rode off in the sunset together. That's my perfect ending. That's probably the only thing I will say that I would change up with the movie. But other than that, I think it's great. Yeah, dude. This I can ramble on about this movie, but I probably shouldn't. But I love this movie. The makeup, the makeup in here is also like very, very iconic. Also the costume design and just everything like that. It's really good, and just I love it. And also it takes place in Vegas, so it's pretty interesting to see how old Vegas used to look back in the day compared to now. But yeah, that is my number one, Showgirls.
Yes,
So-
I've not seen it. Just knew that that old Agent Cooper was in there.
He has such an emo haircut in here. I love it. I fucking love him in the movie. It's so yeah, and we get to see his bare ass, so that's
Yay.
pretty nice. There's an iconic sex scene.
You ready?
Huh?
You see Cooper's pooper.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's an iconic sex scene in here. There's to be fair, there's a lot of sex in this movie, but there is one sex scene in here, and it takes place in a pool. That's all I will say. And it is iconic, and I love it. It's amazing.
Yay.
But yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So now mine?
Yeah.
My honorable mentions and my number one. Okay. So honorable mentions. These are movies that I haven't really used as comfort movies,
Okay.
but that I think have that potential.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I've seen them too recently and haven't gotten around to them, or I just think they have that vibe that, you know. So, yeah, these are all like the potential comfort movies, or just movies that kind of get close to it for me. So I put last year's big magnum opus, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think
Hell yeah.
that's a good one in the running to be a comfort movie.
I love that movie. You know people hate that movie now?
Yeah, they're dumb, whatever.
It's fucking stupid. Sorry.
Yeah, because everyone liked it, so now there has to be people being like, no, I
and
didn't
people are
like
doing
it.
that with Barbie now too.
People did it with Parasite. No, yeah, it just always happens.
Fake ass hoes.
It's stupid. It's just that every time there's something popular, there has to be a pushback. So
It's so annoying.
it's what it is.
Sorry.
Sometimes it's justified, but yeah, I mean, this was the best movie of last year. I haven't heard a good argument against it. So
That movie is so what? Oh, I love that movie. That I was so confused with that movie, but in a good way, because I didn't know what was happening. But I loved it for that.
also, my mom really likes it. Because we saw it with my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's watched it again, and she said she'd watch it a third time. So, she really likes it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen.
And it's super out there, so it's cool that.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the movie 3 times already, and
My
yeah,
mom
I love it.
My mom needs stuff that's like not confusing, not intense, not horrific. Like she just needs the most like
Basic.
the safest shit
Yeah.
ever. and she thought she liked this movie. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah. So I don't know. I truly think like kind of like Parasite. It's kind of for everyone. It's a great movie. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I won't go too in depth on any of these, but just wanted to put that there because I saw it a few times. We saw it with you. We saw it with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been a third time somewhere in there, or I may have only seen it twice. But either way, yeah, good one. And then I have Her, 2013, I believe.
No, we've talked about this movie.
Another favorite of mine. I had to like this almost made my list, and it's because to me, like kind of like Good Will Hunting, it really helped me when I needed it, and
Yeah.
it was a source of comfort. And but like, I ultimately decided this one's maybe too sad to be a comfort
Yeah.
movie. Definitely for most people, but even for me, I had to make that distinction. It's kind of like The Lighthouse, where it's like amazing movie, love that movie. Don't think it could fit as a comfort movie. But yeah, watch it after a breakup if you're like me, and if you're not like me, then avoid it after a breakup.
Oh yeah.
I put Amelie. I only saw this movie once, but I remember the vibes were immaculate. The music was great. It was just I feel like it was a very happy movie, and has high comfort movie potential. I think I saw like a shitty DVD version of it, and I think since then they've like come out with a higher quality release, or if they haven't, then I'm going to be disappointed. But I think there's a 4K. So yeah, have you seen that?
Emily?
Amelie.
Amelie?
Yeah, I think you would love it.
I don't think I have.
Definitely one that we should watch sometime.
I'd be down.
Wait, I feel like everyone knows the movie, so maybe you don't know. You just don't. It's not registering what I'm talking about. Here, 1 second. I'm gonna show Lauren the cover because it's a very famous movie. Amelie?
I have no idea.
This?
Oh, that movie?
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta sorry y'all. I have to look at this.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah, no. I've seen the cover for this and I always
Same. It was one where I always saw the cover. Didn't think I'd care for it. It's a great movie.
it looks like what's her face? Bjork, or however you pronounce her name.
Bjork?
Yeah, Bjork. That's who it looks like.
Yeah, that's it's Audrey Tautou. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. But brand new, the canceled band. The first song on Deja Entendu is named after her. Tautou, or however.
Okay, I had no idea. Interesting.
Yeah.
And I like that song. Okay.
Well, it's really a great movie. It feels great to watch. It's a comedy. And it is cozy and has a great score. Like great piano songs on there. Yeah, we should watch it sooner rather than later.
I'd be down.
I think you'd like it. And I don't think Maddie's seen it, so we should definitely watch it soon. Let me find out if there's a 4K of it, though.
Oh, God.
Okay, so yes. Only saw it once, but that's why it's on my honorable mentions, because I think it has high comfort movie potential.
Nice.
Back to the Future, again, only saw it once, but great movie that I felt I missed out on. I gave it a perfect score as an adult. So like the thing with most of those movies that people love, like from their childhood, is usually I just think they're whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that this movie would be like that, but I thought it was awesome. I really loved it. Pulp Fiction.
Hey.
Of course. Kind of came to the same conclusion on Pulp Fiction that it's not exactly a comfort movie, but it's definitely a movie I like to rewatch or show people if they haven't seen it, which most people have, but
It's such a quotable movie.
yeah.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I don't remember asking you a damn thing.
Do I look like a bitch?
No, yeah, it's all Samuel Jackson too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Quarter real with cheese.
Yeah, no, it's all great. Just didn't think it made the cut on comfort movies. And we got Inside, Bo Burnham's Inside.
Nice.
I definitely did watch that more than once. And I do just listen to some of those songs every now and again. Closer to when it came out, I listened to them more frequently, but I still pop on a song or two from there every now and then because I don't know. It offered a specific feeling of comfort during the time when it came out, the pandemic. Yeah, I feel like I don't have to elaborate that much on that one.
Yeah.
Then I put both Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, which I think it's just that art style that feels so comfy and cozy for me and for a lot of people.
Wait, I thought you didn't like Coraline.
No, I do.
Wait,
I don't want to watch it all the time, but like I get like the appeal of it as a comfort movie. And
I didn't think you liked Coraline.
No, I do.
Oh.
Maddie and I saw it in a theater.
Well, yeah, no, I know that.
And yeah,
You are Wybie.
Don't say that.
Okay, but
no.
Your hair speaks for itself.
No, I do. I think Coraline's a great movie. And Nightmare Before Christmas is pretty great too. We're not going to talk about Danny Elfman here, but
yeah, he's going to go on a tangent.
Yeah, but the vibes are great on both and very comforting. And I could see them being like a movie that you want to watch at least once a year around like Halloween, Christmas, whatever.
Yeah.
And okay, the last one I added here is House. House Who.
Hey.
Another horror movie that's off the wall, bonkers, very fun, very silly.
Gino.
Yes. Yeah, true. Good music. All around recommend. Great movie. Don't know if I would quite call it a comfort movie yet, so here it is on the honorable mentions. All right, that took me a minute. Sorry. My number one is my favorite movie, so you know what it is. You all know what it is. So I'm not even gonna say what it is. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh my God,
Wow.
I had no idea.
Wow.
I didn't think it was gonna be your number one at all.
Well,
nope.
no, I know you're being sarcastic, but
Yeah, I know.
But just because it's my favorite movie doesn't necessarily mean it's a comfort movie. I just decided that this is because it's another movie that helped me a lot when I needed it. And so, yeah, there's a few of those. And so for me specifically, big old comfort movie. A lot of that is the characters. Again, the score. We got John Bryan again. Love John Bryan. And the use of color in the movie is so good.
Yeah.
The whole concept, it's not like really a comforting concept. I don't know why. But just like it's inherently nostalgic, right? Because they're going through his memories.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the angle that gets me. Like, because nostalgia and coziness are very closely related in my head. And yeah, the subject matter is it's funny, it's sad, it's a lot of mixed and conflicting emotions.
But that's exactly what what the characters are experiencing, though.
Yeah, and I
so
find
it makes sense. Yeah,
I find Clementine and Kate Winslet to be very like comforting in the movie. Also,
Mm-hmm.
she's a manic pixie dream girl to
Mm-hmm.
not use a real term there, for lack of better words. Yeah, I don't know, but she feels like a real person who doesn't want to just be seen as a manic pixie dream girl. So like I'm not legitimately trying to oversimplify her character.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it feels like um very like relatable situation to probably a lot of people, an introvert and an extrovert.
Yeah.
And the sad coziness of thinking back on like someone you've fallen out with like that. I don't know.
I haven't seen the movie in so long because when I watched it, uh, it, yeah, because I've seen, this is a movie I've only seen like 3 times. And the first time I watched it, yeah, I loved it. The second time, though, I watched it and I pretty much fucked myself up with that because I watched it like after something personal, but and it destroyed me.
My favorite thing is when a film destroys me. So that's
Yeah, no, that's my favorite thing too. So, and yeah, no, it personally wrecked me. But see, that was my fault. I did it to myself, and I knew that because I wanted to feel that. But yeah, no, I love this movie. It is so good.
And some of the memories are just very cozy too.
Yeah.
There's like flashbacks to his childhood, which is very funny, but also obviously nostalgic feeling. And there's the like classic image at this point that is the cover of the ice that they're laying down on.
Yeah.
And, it's cracking, and I don't know. Can't again. Very hard to put it into words, but that's my list.
Definitely
number
one
one.
of definitely one of Jim Carrey's best roles.
Oh,
And he has a lot.
I mean, it's
but
definitely my favorite, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Okay, y'all, that concludes our top 10 comfort movies.
We did it.
Yeah.
Then we'll be coming at you next week.
With
I believe with let's do our list of this year. Of
best and
2023.
worst.
Yeah, of 2023.
Ooh, that's going to be a very polarizing list.
And it is going to be based on what we've seen. We haven't seen everything, so just fair warning now. I'll probably reiterate that in the next one, but we're going to try and catch up on a few things. We got a couple weeks or a week before we have to make that, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Don't know when we'll record that. I'm going out of town, so it might be when I get back, or it might be before. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, but that's this one.
That does it here, folks.
And we'll see you in 2024.
Hey, yeah.
Fucking January. All right.
January sucks.
All right.
Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And yeah, guess we'll see you guys next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.